Joining me now, a gentleman who spends his work weeks on Capitol Hill, Congressman Larry Buschon of Indiana, member of the House Energy and Commerce Committee. Larry, we just heard what Senator McConnell said to the Fox News channel last week. Both the House and Senate, in essence, have put the Keystone Pipeline at the top of the agenda.
Well, I think that this is about job creation. And it's about, for the president, it's about politics, JD, because the State Department's conducted 5 reviews encompassing over 22,000 pages, showing that this is in the best interest of our economy and the environment. The State Department itself said 42,100 jobs, many temporary, of course, but all infrastructure projects are temporary jobs. So this is about politics. This isn't about the facts, and I think the House showed that last week. We had a bipartisan vote, and I think we'll have 63 votes or so in the Senate, and we'll see what the president decides.
Well, the president has changed his rhetorical stance somewhat. I mean, before the election, he was a little vague about the pipeline, but in the wake of Republicans retaking the Senate and building on your majority in the House, suddenly he trumpets this veto. So mindful of that, do you believe that in both the House and the Senate, enough votes can be put together to override this telegraphed presidential veto?
Well, I'll speak for the House. I don't think we'll have the votes in the House, honestly, because Minority Leader Pelosi came out last week said they're going to take a hard line and stick with the president, which I think is unfortunate, and she's going to twist the arms of many of her members to not help us override the veto. In the Senate, I think there is a real opportunity. We have, as you know, 63 votes, and we need 4 votes more. And I think, once the Democrats see what happens in the public eye, so to speak, or in the media, once the president vetoes the bill, that we may very well be able to get those 4 votes. But in the House, I think it's going to be difficult, but I'm hopeful.
Well, Larry, there's been so much attention given to alleged Republican, we'll call it discussion, prior to the leadership votes and the opening of this new Congress. A lot of people haven't taken a look at the changing atmosphere within the Democratic minority. And I understand you're a member of the House Republican Conference. You don't have access to meetings of the Democrat caucus, yet there are reports that a lot of members who are more moderate than Leader Pelosi are ready to take action against her. Do you believe that that group could reach a critical mass and perhaps prompt peeling off the votes necessary for the veto override that you say right now is unlikely?
Well, that very well could happen. Last week when it was reported broadly across the media in Washington, D.C. and around the country that there is dissension within the Democrat caucus in the House, specifically because many of the more moderate Democrats are being told by their voters, the people that they represent, that the far left agenda of their leadership is not the direction that has been voted for by the American people. So even though I think it's unlikely we'll have the votes, you never know if that caucus portion of the Democrats decides to go against the Speaker, we could get there. I'm hopeful that they will, but I think it's unlikely.
Larry, you are on the Energy and Commerce Committee. I served on the Ways and Means Committee. There was a healthy rivalry between the two committees. At times it would deal with medical issues, and you certainly know whereof you speak on that as a medical doctor. To set the stage for our next discussion following the break, do you know exactly how many doctors are now serving in the House of Representatives?
Well, there's I think right around 16 or so. I can't remember the exact number because some things have changed. But almost all Republicans. We have a couple on the Democrat side in the House, but we have a significant amount of influence on medical issues. I think that we have key leaders like Tom Price from Georgia, who has and others who have been out front on many of the health care issues. So we have enough physicians that we want to be helpful, and we meet with the leadership as we did last week.
And mindful of that, Larry Buschon, when we come back with one of those doctors in the House, we're going to talk about Obamacare and a sports connection from over the weekend. There's more ahead with Congressman Buschon here on America's Forum.